Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial. Today we'll be introducing and learning about Mozz testing tool, which is developed by LearnIt. Mozz is basically Selenium with a UI, and if you're not familiar with Selenium, it's a library that allows developers to write test cases and automate their testing, which is really cool. So let's get started. So the first step you need to take is open a browser and go to learnitbro.com. And then click on the Mozz button, and that will take you to the repository. Scroll down until you find the download section and click here to download the tool. Before launching the tool, make sure you have Java installed on your computer. And if you're using Linux or Mac, you might get a security notification since the tool does not come from the App Store or the Linux Store. To overcome that issue, go to your system preference, then security and privacy, and allow opening that tool. And for Linux, right-click on the file, then go to the properties and check allow executing files as program. Windows, on the other hand, won't even question it. It's like going to the airport and the TSA agent doesn't randomly select you because you're brown. Hashtag racism. Hashtag Windows privilege. So let's get started and write a simple test case. So go to add in the menu and add a configuration, and configuration basically allow you to set up what kind of browser you want to use. So in this case, we'll use Chrome, and we're going to say that the headless, we don't want it headless, so we're going to say that as false, and the platform is web. So the next step is creating groups and test cases. And that allows you to organize your steps into groups, which will make your reports look better and make your test suite easy to maintain. So the first step I'll be conducting is just going to a link. So I'm going to go to the Action tab or Action menu and then press on link. And then I'm going to take the LearnIt.bro URL and post it here. Then I'm going to maximize the screen as well. So I'm going to go to Action again and pick the maximize option. And then I'm going to move that step up. So I'm going to go to edit and move it up. Then I'm going to launch the browser or launch my test. Let's do something more complex. I'm going to add a wait for a page to load check, which basically gives the page a certain period to load before timing out, which is way better than adding a simple sleep or delay. I'm going to give it a max time of 5 seconds. Then I will add a check if a text or an image has displayed by using the displayed option from the assert menu. And that option requires a locator. So let's go to the page and get it. So I'm going to right click on the LearnIt.bro page and inspect that turn from a bro to a pro text. And I'm going to inspect it. Then I'm going to right click on that particular element and get the XPath for it. You can also get the CSS selector and get the name and so on. And then we're going to go back to the tool and paste that information there. Another option that you can also do is create your own XPath. So let's do that. And if you're not familiar about how to create your own XPath, I'll be making a video later on, so I'll be leaving the link below. So let's go ahead and run the test, and this time we're actually going to go to the reports and see the results. So if you go to File and click on Reports, it'll go to the folder where we have 2 folders, and each one represents the test that we ran. So let's open the report.html, and you'll see the test that we ran with every step that we took. And in that section, it says that is it displayed, and the Boolean value is true. And that's why the test has passed. And shout out for Extent Reports for having a great reporting library. So let's create another test case and call it Mozz. And then I'm going to rename my first test case to just launch. And in that test case, I want to click on the Mozz button. So let's get the XPath, or actually let's get the CSS selector for that particular element, and I'm gonna use CSS. And then my next step is actually moving to a different tab, because whenever we click on Mozz, it takes you to the GitHub repository. So we need to use switch to window and give it the index of 1. Then I'm gonna go to assert and check if the URL is equal to a certain value. And to make things more fun, I'm going to take a screenshot of the full page to show you guys how it looks. And you can also execute a JavaScript code, but I'm going to do that on a later tutorial. Then I'm going to close the tab and then switch back to my original window and give it the index of 0. Then I will sleep for 5 seconds. Then press launch. When your test is done, open your report to see the results, and you'll see 2 passes for each test case. Then you can also open the screenshots from the file menu to see the screenshot that we took. So the last thing we'll do for this video is launch a failed test case. So I removed all the test cases from before and created a new one with launching learnitbro.com, and then I'm going to add a click, and for the XPath I'm just going to put some gibberish XPath that doesn't really exist, and then I'm going to press launch. If we go and check the console, you'll see that there is a Java exception thrown out there, and also if you go to the reports, you'll see the same Java exception thrown out there, and that would help you debug it if you're trying to find the cause of that failure. Is it related to your code, or is it related to the actual test case? And by now, we have reached the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys learned something new. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.